Hello everyone and welcome to Photo Finds. I'm your host Gavin Hatch. This week we're going to Universal Orlando Resort to take a look at Halloween Horror Nights. Now this footage we got a few weeks ago when we were there filming for Florida E-Ticket, so it's mainly video, but it's really hard to take pictures at this event with the camera that we use. I don't know how to use it right, I guess, but it's hard for me to get some really good photos with these cameras at night with so much movement going on from the guests and also the performers. So I thought it'd be easier just to go ahead and get some really good footage for you guys, so I hope you don't mind Photo Finds being more video this week. Now, because of Hurricane Matthew coming through Florida earlier in the month, they actually had to cancel 2 nights of the event. So to make it up for those guests that were planning on coming in the middle of the month and couldn't come, they went ahead and extended the event to till the 4th and 5th. So the 5th of November will be the very last night. So that's going to be coming this Friday and Saturday. So if you didn't get to go in October or September, don't worry, you still have a chance to go on Friday or Saturday night. So today we're going to take a look at the scare zones. Nothing in the houses just because we cannot film or take pictures in the houses, but mainly just looking at the scare zones and just doing a quick little overview and review of it because they have some really great scare zones this year. So let's get started in the front of the park at A Chance in Hell. Now this is the event's 26th year, and I'm telling you what, I really was in love with this year. It starts with the scare zones. The houses were fantastic, but the scare zones were great. I love the theme. I was a big Jack the Clown fan. I mean, everyone loves Jack, and I love that this year he's not featured, but his girlfriend is, and you know, she has been featured in past years, but not as an icon. So this is great that this year they gave her own year. I mean, she has everything's about her, and this scare zone is very well done for this area. I'm usually not a fan of this scare zone area. Last year was okay. It's I don't know, because the Minions ride being right there and Shrek, and just kind of, I don't know, they can't do too much with the space as well. They can't transform it dramatically because during the day they have the parade coming through here. Before the parade they used to do a lot more with sets. So I've never been a big fan of this area of the park when it came to the scare zones, but this is great. It's just crazy. It's very chaotic. I love like the straight jackets, and there is a performer with right here. You can see she has the needles, and it looks like she's a princess or like a crown, but it's made out of needles. It's just so, it's really crazy, and I love that Chance is there to talk to guests and does like shows. It's fantastic. Now this is Vamp 55. Vamp 55 is, I think, is really, when it comes to like performance and the story, it is my favorite scare zone. Now I've heard, and I can't confirm this, but I've heard this was supposed to be a Purge scare zone, Purge election year, but they decided to go ahead and switch the theme and kind of last minute as well. So this was supposedly a last minute idea, and at first glance you might think it looks thrown together, but I actually think, I mean, the costumes, the makeup, just the whole, this is like 1955 Hollywood high school, and you have all these jocks, you have cheerleaders, you have nerds, you have, I mean, the biker gang. It's just so fun to walk through and just watch, because it's like every performer, they're all just working together and creating this story, and of course they're scaring you as well, but I mean, it's just entertaining to sit there and watch them go and do all these little kind of things, and it looks like they have a lot of freedom when it comes to entertaining the guests and each other and scaring you as well. And it's just the music as well in this area. It's all 1950s music. I'm a big fan of 50s, like doo-wop and all that stuff. It's just so well done. It was a very fun scare zone to walk through and enjoy. That is for sure. A lot of great theming, and there's not a whole lot to it. Also, the bus in this scare zone has been used multiple years, and it's funny. The first time we went, there was actually a sticker on the back of the bus that still had from the Purge scare zone. So I believe it was taken off at some point before the end of the run, or by the end of this week it will be taken off. But the first night we went to the event, which was Teamer Preview Night, it was still on there. So someone forgot to take that sticker off from the Purge scare zone. It was still on there. It said New Founding Fathers of America. But it's just a really, looking at this, it makes me want to go back. I'm probably going to go back Friday or Saturday because I just want to see this one last time. It's a great scare zone this year. Now, not too far away, we have the Lair of the Banshees, and this is very hard to film and get pictures in. It's very hard to get pictures in, at least, again, because I don't know how to take the best photos, especially at night, and filming is also kind of hard to do because it was so dark in there. But the sound effects, again, this year, this scare zone, this area, they use it every year, it was really well done compared to other years. Now, it's kind of hard to choose between the Dead Man's Wharf or Vamp 55. I really had to, it's a hard decision. When it comes to the effects and the setup and the staging, I love this scare zone the most. I think it was just really, it's in the perfect area of the park for it. And it's just so creepy. It's kind of like, it's like a really dark version of the Pirates of the Caribbean. But there's no pirates. It's just kind of like, it's just fishermen that look like they've just, been at the bottom of the ocean for years and years decaying and it's all masks. There's no makeup really, and it looks really hot. So I feel bad for those guys that were working the scare zone because I'm sure it's really warm wearing that, but the masks are very detailed. And it's just, there's a lot of them running around. They definitely staffed very appropriately this year. There's a lot of scare actors in all the scare zones, so there's never like dead areas where you don't have someone walking up to you scaring you. And it's great. The lightning effects are fantastic. It's all timed with the light, as you can see, like just the lightning's going off and you can hear it. And there's a lot of fog, a lot of mist, so you even get wet depending on where you're walking through. And it's great. It's a really great scare zone. Great storyline. This huge ship is there. I wish that was somehow being able to be used to kind of have scare actors going in and out of. But hey, it was still a lot of fun to go through there. Now, Survive or Die Apocalypse is, I can't even say that. Survive or Die Apocalypse is in the streets of New York. This is always a huge scare zone. It's a lot of space, so it's really, I'm sure for the creative team at Universal, it is a challenge, I'm sure, to go ahead and have to really make this look so different every year, because I feel like the issue with this scare zone in streets of New York is that whatever they put there, they all kind of look very similar. So I'm hoping, that as the years go on, they're able to really kind of change it up so it doesn't always look the same. This is kind of reminiscent of not last year's theme, but definitely The Purge. This is kind of like a really dark version of The Purge. Of course, it's the apocalypse, so it's very dark, very grungy, kind of like Saws and Steam. If any of y'all had been to the event years ago, I think that was in 2009 that Saws and Steam was a thing. But it's still really well done. Not a whole lot of set pieces, but the set pieces that are there are very big. And as you can see here, I love how they have show elements in scare zones, and they have it this year back over in closer to like the arcade instead of over by the Macy's facade where it has been the past few years. And it's very loud. The music is it's all about, the music really takes you away and kind of disorients you. And just a lot of scare actors. I wish there was a little bit more. I feel like this zone, out of all of them, did not have, for the amount of space they had, because it is a big scare zone, they didn't have a whole lot of scare actors anytime I walked through there. But they did get a lot better. The first night, there wasn't really a lot going on. I wasn't a big fan of it at all. But then when we went through, say 2 or 3 weeks later, it was a lot better. So of course, throughout the run, things do get better because everyone kind of gets into the groove of things. Now, I do like that they brought back some technology. They are using some projection mapping on the buildings that they used years ago for this same scare zone. The same buildings were crumbling during, I believe it was Acid Assault was the name of the scare zone. So they brought back those projections and using projection mapping on the buildings to make it look like they were all breaking apart and tearing down. So this was a quick look at the scare zones in the park. It was a really fun event this year. Again, the scare zones and the houses, very well done. I loved all the houses. The IPs they got this year were really great. I don't see how Universal can do better, but every year they do. They always come back and they just get better and better every year. So I'm even more excited to see what they do next year for the 27th year. And it's a great event. If you haven't been, you have to go. It's the nation's premier Halloween event. It's the largest, and they win the Golden Ticket Award every year, and I'm sure they'll get it this year. I have no doubts about that. So make sure you go. If you have a chance to get here, or if you're local or if you're coming down into the area this week, you have a chance to go November 4th and 5th. So the last night will be the 5th. They were not planned, so I don't know what the crowds are going to be like. I don't think it's going to be very busy just because I know not a lot of people know about it continuing and going on this week. But if you have a chance to go, please do. You have 2 more nights to experience it. And of course, next year we'll be back and bigger and better than ever. I don't know how they'll do it, but they will. So this has been a great quick episode, you guys. Hope you have a great week. Hope you had a great Halloween as well. Make sure you subscribe to Attractions Magazine and get out, have fun, and enjoy those parks.